My name's Michael Chapman. I've been supporting Argyle for about 14 years, give or take. So I first started playing football I first heard about active youth football when Trevor, who works for Argyle Community Trust, mentioned it to my brother, and then my brother mentioned it to me. And so we went on to the YMCA and started playing football on a Monday and Friday. And at the time, I wasn't working at the time, so it was really good to have something to do, like just to get out of the house for an hour or so. Where it became more sort of important for me was not long after COVID, where that's sort of when my mental health started to decline a little bit, because I was out of work again, and I was sort of at a loss a little bit. I sort of reached a point where I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I felt like I kind of didn't really have a purpose in some respects. And particularly in the last sort of year, 18 months, it's become really kind of more important. So sort of around May last year, I was a missing person for about a week, because I really didn't know what to do. I just got out of my house and walked, and I didn't know what to do, and I did contemplate suicide around that time, and I was really kind of lost a little bit, and then for a very, very brief period I was homeless after that. But then, thanks to some good causes and again Trevor reaching out to me, I sort of started to pick myself back up again. So active youth football isn't the only thing our community trust do. They do like wellbeing walks and stuff like that as well. And so I got a couple of messages about doing the mental health walks and stuff. And so after I had that period where I was a missing person and stuff, I started to gradually get back. I got a new place and stuff, and that's when I started doing the walks. And that's what really gradually over time helped me build back up again. And then later last year, my dad died suddenly, and so all that sort of structure I built has sort of collapsed again, I felt, because it was pretty sudden. And I used to talk to my dad almost every day on the phone, and for that to just go was quite a big deal. And so I kind of went back into that sort of cycle of not getting out, just staying in my room, and just not being very productive in my time or whatever. And again, that's when Trev and other members of the community trust started sending me messages about pool sessions or football sessions, and again that got me back out of the house. And sort of particularly this year, from about February, I started to take volunteering more seriously. So I volunteer probably about 3 days a week, and that's through Argyle Community Trust as well. So I do some football sessions and then walking session, a bit of volunteering as well. And I now have a positive structure, and given my dad died, it'll be next month is my dad's birthday, and it'll be the first birthday or the second birthday without him being around, and I feel like I'm okay with that now, which is a large part of being able to be active. And with some of the volunteering I do is where I've been able to sort of show that empathy and understanding of other people, just what's good about, football sessions and all that lot is that you can see people in your groups who have similar or kind of experiences, and you can show a lot of empathy with them, and you can understand that you can support them a bit. A lot of the people in those sessions will help each other outside of those sessions as well. So you do gain a sort of friendship circle in some respects. And again, there are people who do the football sessions who aren't necessarily football fans. I think people do it because it is, at its core, a way to get out of the house and break up the routine and to find ways to change your life for a positive thing. And I think that's really what it does.
Can you remember, so after your dad died then, can you remember the sort of initial impact or feeling when you did go back along to some of the sessions that were put on, whether that be the football one or the walking one? Can you remember how were you feeling going back in and seeing Trevor and seeing other familiar faces?
So going into that, I think it was a walking session was the first one, and then I went to a football session after that. And getting there, I was a bit sort of nervous, but as soon as I got there, people who are the regulars in those sessions are like, "It's good to see you back," and that's another aspect, is people do, miss you a bit. And sort of like, just for an example, when I was missing last year, I didn't really get many people wondering where I was. Trevor was one of the only actual few people who did ring me and stuff. But this year I actually lost my phone. And so people thought, he's gone missing again. And actually, I just lost my phone. I ended up with probably about 5 different people asking me if I was alright, where was I? And most of those people I'd met through various sessions within the community trust. And so that kind of change from that situation last year and this year, where it was just a similar case of losing my phone, having so many people sort of check in, it's a positive that it took a lot of getting used to that idea, because it wasn't something I would ever thought I would have that many sort of messages and phone calls to ask. So I think that's something I really am quite thankful for, actually. Like most football teams, or most cities, a football team is the hub, and so to use that in the best and to maximise that is really good. I think with the community trust, it brings a lot of communities together, and it also means it brings a lot of different experiences together as well. I don't think volunteering would have been something I would ever consider without doing some of the activities in Project Firefight with Community Trust Fast. So I don't think I would have considered that as an opportunity, as something I would have done. And yeah, I think like with many things, it sort of opens your eyes to try new things as well. And I come to really enjoy match days as well. I'm always trying to get to a match day, which is something I would never really have the confidence to do before. I think my mental strength has come along quite a lot. I think even from this time to this time last year, I think mentally I'm more resilient than I was before. And a large part of that is it gets you out into the community. It gets you out meeting people, and not just people you would usually seek to speak in your usual circle, but different types of people, and it gets you doing different types of activities as well. And I've certainly done some things that I never thought I would actually do, and I think that's what it does. That's the positive thing about it, is encouraging people to do more than what they're used to, and even being active in that community as well.